Review the request as soon as possible. And there you go. And then they got back to me. They said, this is Angela chiming in. Sorry for the delayed response. Angela chiming in. Everybody's a new person chiming in. Again, is this AI responding to this? After careful review, we've determined, and this is today, by the way, after careful review, we've determined that your channel currently doesn't meet the criteria for monetization. As a result, access to monetization tools have been temporarily suspended. You can find specific details regarding the flag policies on the page. I looked. I had one thing where somebody talked about a vaccine. Don't talk about vaccines if you want to be monetized. Right now, I'm not monetized, but don't do anything with vaccines. We don't talk about that.
So I want to talk about vaccines for a minute. Well, that's part of it anyway. But does anybody recognize this guy? This guy's name is...
My name is Dr. Justin Spees. I'm running for Douglas County Commissioner. And
ever since the decision to run for commissioner, he's been attacked and silenced on every level. But to me, there's no mystery why they're doing this.
It's clear they're doing this because they know Dr. Spees will have clear, concise, and commanding ideas for the future of Douglas County. The other two candidates will not.
First, a general statement from the doctor, and then we'll get those clear and concise ideas.
And in this country, we look back oftentimes at the stuff that we did as a society and say, what were we thinking?
In the morning,
this will be relevant later, but I know. Okay, I know. Clear and concise and commanding ideas for the county, about the county, not philosophical things like that. But okay, here we go. Let's hear his ideas.
Out here. Now, right? Tabor is really cool. Now, get on, watch my video, and get online. You can check out Tabor more for yourself. But it's really cool because it proposes a cap on how much revenue the county would be able to collect, and in the process of capping how much revenue, by default they have to cap how much is spent as well, and anything that goes over that cap gets refunded back to the citizens. So like right now, Colorado's getting $750 refund checks for the individuals and $1,500 for families. So what that does is it holds people accountable. Just recently, Lawrence Times wrote an article about how Burt Nash is ineffective and inefficient in their services that they provide, but yet the county still gives them millions of dollars. If we had something that held them accountable and held the county commissioners responsible and accountable, they wouldn't just give a blank check over to them and keep asking for more taxes and more of your tax money. They would be held accountable, and we'd say you can't just keep giving money out like that. And in the process, if it goes over and there is a surplus, then what we'll do then is we'll put it to a vote to the community to decide if you guys want those refund checks or if you want to have the community go ahead and spend that money.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Along with that, any time that there's an increase in tax proposed by any of the commissioners, then what has to happen is it goes to a vote to the community. You can either say yes or no, but consider a vote for me. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, it's clear this guy has really good thoughts, clear and concise, and the commissioners realized this and they started shutting him down. So here we go.
Once said, the thing about smart motherfuckers is that they look like crazy motherfuckers to stupid motherfuckers. Turn my mic back on. Turn my mic back on. Turn my mic back on. Turn my mic back on.
We're not going to turn your mic back on.
Why are you silencing me?
You directed derogatory language at us, so that's the end of your comment.
You guys look like that.
He was quoting something, by the way.
That's your rule, man. Turn my mic back on. Turn my mic back on.
You can sit down and enjoy the rest of the meeting with us, or you can leave, but your public comment is over.
Why?
Will have clear, concise, and commanding ideas for the future of Douglas County. The other two candidates will not. The other two candidates will not.
If the mill levy actually went down by 1, why do property taxes go up? And if the mill levy, according to Patrick Kelly, actually went down, why is LJ World reporting that it didn't actually go down at all? Can you guys explain the mill levy to us, please? Bart Littlejohn, can you explain it?
The other two candidates will not.
Can you guys explain the mill levy to us, please? Bart Littlejohn, can you explain it?
Well, at least I didn't interrupt him, right? I mean...
So I get a lot of smirks like Bart Littlejohn has there from the community when I'm out campaigning. And you can smirk all you want, but if you vote Patrick Kelly and you're in the next year, next 2 years, next 3 years, you're going to be sitting around wondering how you're going to afford to pay your rent, how to pay your mortgage as your property taxes keep going up each year. I've got proposals, serious solutions on how to decrease that and actually refund your money.
Is there any other public comment in the room?
Talk about baseless conspiracy theories. Men having babies, men having periods. Come on, there ain't a bigger conspiracy theory than that. So save your conspiracy theory bullshit for somebody that gives a shit. My name is Dr. Justin Spees. My doctorate is in human development from Kansas State. Back in July of 2021, I started a protest against the child mask mandates that were in effect in USD 497 for the second time.
Point of order.
So I got tired of the bullshit.
Sir, what's it do with the city? What is your discussion? Sir, you're out of order. This is your warning. One more time and I'm going to have you leave.
So anyways, like I was saying, so when I did my protest, I was vilified around here and made it into a political matter, like it was a baseless conspiracy theory, right? So I came across an article here the other day. It's from June 26th of 2022. It's from the online journal iPerception. It's called Mask Wearing Affects Emotion Perception. As I read through here, I want you to think about this through the lens of what children went through while you all supported masks. That's what it has to
I'm
do
going
with.
to. You are not speaking about something that's germane to the city.
Stop.
Commissioner,
You
please.
all put in a mask
Be
mandate
quiet.
that affected
Sir,
children. and
you're
as far as
done.
I
This is
can-
your warning.
For
This
what?
is your warning.
For
You
what?
are not talking about items that are germane to the city commission.
Shit, I'm
and
not.
you are done.
You are got to be kidding me. You all put in a
Officer,
mask.
please remove this. We'll step
For
back.
what?
here 5
For
minutes.
what? For what?
What? That's insane.
Spoiler alert, he ends up being right about everything about that.
Out of here. I have a question for the same reason, not germane to the city. Question to you. How does anything talked about tonight with ceasefires, anything in Israel, anything with Gaza, have anything to do with your guys' business?
Spoiler alert, the answer is nothing at all.
That sounds like viewpoint discrimination and unequal.
Excuse me.
I
Please
sat
be
here and
quiet in the
listened to
audience.
these people speak, and I didn't interrupt. That sounds like unequal protection. So, can I talk about masks tonight? So, the study that I was going to talk about back in July, on July 18th, had to do with the fact that these masks were starting to be found out that they had a You're not going to stop me? Why aren't you stopping me? It's the same topic. You're going to escort me out of here now? What's changed? What's changed? Is it germane all of a sudden? And talk about how the cost of living is higher right now with Biden as president than when Trump was president. And Courtney stopped me and said, what does the city have to do with the NASDAQ? Well, what is...
And what it sounds like after science proves you correct.
And capacity limitations at businesses. Washington, D.C.'s mask mandate, for instance, required people to wear masks outside when one couldn't reliably keep 6 feet away from other people. Fauci also reportedly told lawmakers yesterday that the long you were. And all you did was just dismiss, mock, and ridicule. There's no way that we could have been right? There's no way.
This is the same quote he got gabbled down in that first clip.
Reminds me of a saying from Einstein. The thing about smart motherfuckers is that they look like crazy motherfuckers to stupid motherfuckers. You gonna have me escorted out of here now? Like you did before? Why not? What's changed? You guys get something in the mail? You guys get some certified mail that changes something?
So this sign that he's holding has the word pussy on it. That's going to be important later too, so just remember that.
A few months ago, a female has more balls than you, Patrick. Aren't you embarrassed by that? Anyway, Michael made a YouTube video of his exchange with Patrick titled, Patrick Kelly Feels Too Unsafe to Meet, and is posted on his YouTube channel, Lawrence Accountability. Based on the comment section of the video, lots of people agree with me on this, so let's read some of the comments on the video. One person said, The cowardice in this man is embarrassing to all males. Another one said, I bet Patrick squats when he pees. Another guy here said, Patrick, you're a condescending F. Grow a pair or let them drop, son. This guy here said, this clown definitely got a lot of swirlies and wedgies in school. Another guy here, what an absolute coward. Another post, beta male? No. How's about absolute pussy? What a clown. Another person, this is someone who is so readily available to play the victim and it's insulting to actual victims. Another person here said, what an overpaid, underintelligent simp he is. I'm sad for his wife, who surely realizes this too. I think it would be terrible to know you're married to this, but stick around for her lifestyle anyway. Shameful. Another one here says, what a wussy that commissioner is. Another one, call him a pussy and give me his number. This one might be my favorite one here. Patrick must wear his mama's panties. Another one here, unsafe equals whiny coward. Another guy here said, I'm embarrassed for this guy. He needs to hand in his man card immediately. And then this last one here says, he needs to go back to his mama's basement. If this were my dad, then I would consider that I had two mommies.
That one's just awesome. You got to admit.
This isn't the only instance of Patrick Kelly outing himself as a giant pussy. He did this when he forced 2-year-old children to wear masks during COVID. And he also shows it in his job as Director of Curriculum and Instruction for USD 497, where he developed and
Justin, I'm
implemented
gonna
the
ask
gender
you
identity
to speak
and
about
sexual
items
development.
specific to the county commission.
This is about his character, and the character of a commissioner is germane to the county business, so thank you. And he also shows it in his job as Director of Curriculum and Instruction for USD 497, where he developed and implemented the gender identity and sexual development curriculum, where adults talk to kids beginning at age 5 about sexual development, gender identity, and the role society has on genders. So let's go ahead and read some more of those YouTube comments. First one here, yes, Patrick, you are less of a person. You are far, far below being a real man. Another one here. Another coward scared of accountability. This guy sounds like an absolute wimp. Grow up and be a man.
You are not speaking about items that are specific to the business of the county commission.
It's about his character.
You are attacking his character,
but
and this
it's
is your last
his
warning
character.
to talk about items that are specific to the county commission.
Can you explain to me how his character isn't germane to the business of the county?
It's not the business of
His
the county
character,
commission.
a commissioner's character has nothing to do with the commission? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not going to go back and forth with you, Justin. I've said what I said.
Our government has become cowards, and it makes me ashamed of mankind.
This one is the most
What a
egregious
cowardly
one,
man that
but
man is.
let's listen to this and then I'll get to the point.
My name is Dr. Justin Spees. I'm running for Douglas County Commissioner in District 1 as a Republican candidate. I want to go over some numbers with you guys here. These are the numbers on the last day that Trump was in office and how things are today. So on the last day that Trump was in office, inflation rate was at 1.4%. Today it's at 8.3%. That's a little low. Gas was on a national average of $2.39 when Trump was in office. Today it's $3.76. The 30-year mortgage rates were at 2.65%. Today they're at 7.08%.
Dr. Spees, is there some way that we have control? Is there some way that this city commission has control over inflation?
The average rent prices were $1,625. Today they are at $2,039. The NASDAQ was up $13,300.
Mr. Spees, is there some way this city commission has control over the NASDAQ?
Please, Nazi. Thank you.
Is there any?
I'm making
Are
it
you
clear to
ready
you,
to be
I'm making it
removed?
clear to you that I would like. Can you stop my time?
No.
Why not?
Because so far you haven't said anything that has anything to do with this body.
The city considered how asinine the Democrats are. So thank you.
This is a
The
non.
NASDAQ is down 10,829 points.
Again, we have no control over the NASDAQ, Mr. Spees.
0.7%. Today it's at 13.5%. The electricity rose 1.5%. Today it's at 15.8%. The real average hourly earnings increased 4%. Last day Trump was in office. Today.
It's kind of you to come today, sir, but if you don't have anything
Now that I'm
in the
getting
last 2
around
minutes.
to the business of the city, the reason why I bring this up is because I stand on the corner and I campaign, and one of my signs says that Democrat Patrick Kelly raised your property.
This is a nonpartisan body.
And that I never
Whether
will.
anyone is Democrat or Republican is not
Can you stop,
relevant.
Nazi?
No, sir.
I'm trying to make my
Our
general
time
public comment.
is the city's
And
time.
yeah,
You must
I'd like to
speak
make a
on items
proclamation. I'd like to make
germane
it a
to this body.
I just did, Courtney.
No,
Can you just hear what
you
said?
have
I'd
not.
like to make this a proclamation. What is going on here? You guys
Rent
can do
and
whatever
gas
you
has
want.
nothing to do with the
gas
city of
pipeline
Lawrence.
that doesn't go through here, and when I'm bringing up
I
stuff that
welcome you to
affects
leave
people's
this
taxes-
room, sir.
What's that?
You've been warned.
All right, let's do it then.
Okay.
Let's do it. Why are you shutting me down? I want to make this a
Because
proclamation.
you've yet to speak about a single thing to do with the body.
Let's go. So anyway,
Thank
what I
you
was
for
saying is
leaving, sir.
People drive by and they shake their
Excuse
heads
me,
at
sir,
me.
you're finished.
And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because Patrick Kelly had $55 million that he could have dipped
This
into to
body
decrease
is-
your property taxes, and said
Pause.
he increased them.
Until you leave, sir.
For what?
We have rules. I've made them
what are the
clear
rules?
to you.
What are the rules, Nazi? What are the
There's
rules, Nazi?
Nothing germane
What are
that
the-
you've said so far.
I want it to be a proclamation.
Thank you for
and
coming.
It's germane to you
You're
guys.
welcome to leave.
Nope, it's germane to. He just laid out that I can make this a proclamation. Why aren't you doing that? Why is that not important?
leave,
Why is
sir.
my idea not important? If I was in here
Because
about
it
a
has
gas
nothing
pipe,
to do
a gas
with the
pipeline that doesn't go
business
through
of
here,
this
then it would be
body.
okay. Is that what you're saying?
You're welcome to leave, sir.
I don't want to leave. I want to finish speaking. You are the
have
same
yet-
person that sat up there and said you
you've
don't
yet
want
to
white
say
people
a
up on
single
boards.
thing
You're
to
doing
do
this
with
because
the
I'm a
business
white
of this
guy.
body.
You're doing this because I'm a white
Goodbye,
guy.
sir.
Clearly, you're doing this because I'm
Goodbye,
white.
sir.
You are a racist. You are
Goodbye,
a
sir.
Nazi. You are exactly what you say we are. You are exactly what you say we are. You are
Thank
a
you for
Nazi.
coming.
Each one of you are Nazis. And you
Thank you for
are the
coming.
Miss Suppression. You going to allow this to happen? She is suppressing me coming up here.
We have recessed this body, sir.
Fuck you. You're a Nazi. Fuck you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
You see me? All right, whatever. My name is Dr. Justin Spees, and the school board doesn't allow me to speak directly or about directly to or about board members, which also includes not being able to address Superintendent Lewis. So instead of doing that this evening, I thought I'd read a little story I wrote earlier today, and it goes like this here. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a school superintendent named Lewis Anthony, who was determined to run his school district into the
Okay,
ground.
we're going to mute you. You are violating our policy. Thank you. Next on the agenda.
After our staff went through an appeal process and communicated further with YouTube. But just wanted to put that on the record and note that we've updated our comments, our instructions for general public comment a bit about that. And also just want to give space if either commissioners have any thing to add to that or any details that I may have missed from discussions with staff. Okay. So I will just offer some instructions for public comment before we kick off our meeting. Each action item on the agenda will offer an opportunity for relevant public comment about that topic. We ask that you wait until the agenda item that you're here for comes up for discussion. Additionally, near the start of our meeting, we will invite folks to provide general public comment to the commission, which is a time for address.
It's been almost 2 years and he's still trying to talk about these masks, but they won't let him finish. This is what, and all that time now has passed. Science has had a chance to catch up to what he's been saying.
2022. I'm here this evening to say I told you so about masks not being effective and masking not being based in science. I'm saying I told you so to all you crazy liberal fucks here in Lawrence who try to ruin my life over this. You didn't believe me about masks then or ever, so tonight I'm going to read a recent article published in your own mainstream media, the ultra-liberal New York Times, acknowledging that all you dumb shit liberals were wrong about masks and mask policies, and all us crazy far-right extremist conspiracy theorists were right. The article's titled, "The Mask Mandates Did Nothing. Will Any Lessons Be Learned?" by Brett Stevens. It was published on February 21st.
Why was I not stopped that time? Why was I allowed at the April 4th, 2023 meeting to do my same mask protest introduction, plus mention the vaccine clinic protests I attended?
My name is Dr. Justin Spees, and I protested the child mask mandates around here, along with the child COVID vaccine clinics the city and county supported and hosted in 2021 and 2022. Recently, the World Health Organization changed its COVID vaccination advice.
Okay, and here's how all this is germane to me. So notice the title of this: Does COVID vax cause heart issues? Right. So
I don't think it's a coincidence that, you know, you guys host these vax clinics for children back in 2021, and now here we are just a little over a year later, and you guys are hosting a heart clinic now as well. And then, you know, he tries to say, well, we didn't do a vax, was going to be hosting a heart check there at their elementary school, and the heart clinic was going to be March 24th, so this past Tuesday. And me and my group of friends, you know, we saw that, and you know, we had protested all of the vax clinics back in the fall of 2021. They were doing the vax clinics in the schools and in the rec centers around here, and one of the schools that hosted the vax clinic was Baldwin High School. And so we went and we protested that back in November and December of 2021. And so when we saw this email come out, you know, the Baldwin School District said that they don't endorse, you know, pretty much anything health related.
So damn near the same thing happened to me. The vaccination people came and set up at my high school, the one I graduated from, and my mom ended up getting like the first shot or whatever, and they told her she needed to get a second one. And luckily I had seen this, and I told my mom, just, you know, if the vaccine's not going to, you know, stop transmission, and it doesn't really help you if you already have it, then it could possibly maybe create heart disease. I just told her not to take it. And I'm glad I did. My mom's almost 80, and she's smoked cigarettes like her whole life. So the last thing she needs is help getting a heart disease of some sort. So I just figured that I told her not, because of this video, I told her not to do it. You know,
that when they saw this clinic in the area, they just wanted to pass the information along to the families in the area that the clinic was going to be at Baldwin Elementary, and that it's normally $1,500 to do the screening, but they were going to be offering that at a reduced rate for $150. So
almost the exact same thing here, numbers and everything. And the VA was going to pay that extra $150 for my mom, so it was going to be free for her, and she was excited about it. But just knowing that the vaccine isn't a vaccine, and knowing that it could possibly, even just possibly create heart disease, I told her not to take it. And
when me and my friends that had done all these protests for these vax clinics back in the fall, in the winter of 2021, we saw this email come out this past February, and we knew that we wanted to show up to the heart clinic and spread our message. So we wanted to show up and just kind of raise awareness and get people asking, you know, and questioning, you know, is there a connection between the vaccines and the, you know, heart issues that we're seeing? You know, not just in children, but, you know, across the board.
Okay, so the little town I live in is based around a military base. It's a naval air station, and I know that sounds weird because Navy and, you know, the air and stuff, but it's a naval air station, and every naval air station has an outlying auxiliary landing field, and I live directly under. like when the planes take off, like my house is the first house they go over. Anyway, basically, when you're in the military, like my dad was and my mom, you take any vaccine or shot that they offer, you know, regardless of whatever the, you know, outcomes are. You just do what they say. Anyway, my point is, discussions like this don't happen in military towns like this, because it's just not a question, you know. And now people are starting to talk about it, but it's a whole different kind of talk. So, all right, let's remember what Dr. Spees just said.
When me and my friends that had done all these protests for these vax clinics back in the fall, in the winter of 2021, we saw this email come out this past February, and we knew that we wanted to show up to the heart clinic and spread our message. So we wanted to show up and just kind of raise awareness and get people asking, and questioning, is there a connection between the vaccines and the, heart issues that we're seeing, not just in children, but, across the board.
Here's my city council meeting 5 days ago. Public comment.
Good afternoon. My name is Ginger Sparks. I live in District 1 on Karankawa Street. I support Agenda Item 26 that requires a more fully informed consent be provided to people before they receive the COVID-19 injection and any other vaccine that lists all the potential severe side effects from the CDC's own VAERS website. Currently, the CDC vaccine information sheet for the COVID-19 injections does not provide a current list of reported adverse effects. Only 2 are listed. I urge you to vote yes for this ordinance. During the pandemic, my father decided to take the so-called safe and effective COVID-19 vaccine. He lined up with thousands of others to get it. Under emergency use authorization, none were given fully informed consent. Why did Pfizer, one of the vaccine manufacturers, and the FDA want 75 years to release the data Pfizer gave to the FDA to receive emergency use authorization? Once they were court ordered to release it, it was found in the first 3 months of the injections, there were 42,086 adverse events reported, and that included 1,223 deaths. They knew what was in the data. Why didn't they want us to know? 1 month after taking the second booster, my father suffered an extremely painful aortic dissection. His aorta bled, and the onset of atrial fibrillation. There is no prognosis for an aortic dissection. Most people die suddenly when it occurs. The treatments for his 2 conditions were opposing. What was good for one was bad for the other. Before this, my father took no medicine, had no family or personal history of heart disease. Aortic dissection is a reported adverse event associated with the COVID-19 injections. For the next 2.5 years, he suffered through a gamut of doctors, medical teams, emergency room visits, cutting-edge procedures, daily medications, expensive medical testing, all trying to figure out the best medical treatment for him. One night in the emergency room, my dad looked up to me and said, "If this is going to be my life, I don't think I want it." On July 9th of this year, he suffered a massive hemorrhagic stroke. He died a week later, 5 days before his 83rd birthday, and just weeks before his 60th wedding anniversary. Stroke is one of the reported adverse events because of the COVID-19 injections. Health officials are now even recommending this vaccine for babies as young as 6 months and pregnant women. Well over 1 million adverse events have been reported on the VAERS website after receiving the COVID-19 injections. I firmly believe if he had been given fully informed consent, my dad might have made a different decision. I sincerely ask you to vote to pass this item. Why would you not want the people of this city to be more fully informed of the potential risks? Texas state court law states consent must be informed before taking a vaccine. We have a right to a fully informed consent about what we put in our bodies. Thank you.
Say what you will about protesters and, sign holders or whatever, but I'm convinced that every cuss word on Dr. Speece's sign that pissed every one of those people off, that eventually led to his arrests, that led to YouTube videos, led to me getting that information and being able to tell my mom about a year and a couple months ago not to take the vaccine, never to take the vaccine, and she's alive today. She's not one of those stories that my mom was only 3 years younger than this guy who died, and she went through the exact same shot process and then was about to take the second one just like this guy did, but she didn't. I have a question for all the commissioners. Are you guys ready to hear his "I told you so" speech now, or what? Is that what you want to hear? Buckle up for this one. I'm just warning you now, if you don't allow robust conversation on this topic, these are the speeches you're going to hear. Listen up.
Council members, I'm Dara Rickers, and I reside at 5918 South Oso Parkway. I ask that all of you please give me your full attention while I share a few very sad truths with you. My friend's nephew Aaron was a healthy young man with a desire to come to America. All he dreamed of was studying and perhaps joining the U.S. military. During his preparation to attend Del Mar, he was required to have the COVID vaccine. Aaron took the first COVID shot and had some minor depression as a side effect. About 6 months later, Aaron took the second vaccine because he was told for the first vaccine to work and in order to travel, he needed the second. About 2 weeks later, Aaron's depression became more of a disruption to his daily activities, so the doctor gave him a prescription of Zoloft to help with that. Aaron still was not feeling well, so he went to the hospital. He was admitted, and during his hospital stay, his legs became very blue and painful to the touch. The doctors ignored the symptoms. After 4 days in the hospital, Aaron had a severe seizure and within 20 minutes was dead. Aaron was a very healthy young man prior to the vaccines. He was my friend's sister's only child, whom she raised as a single mom. My friend's father also took the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. 6 months later, he got COVID and passed away. My friend's husband never suffered from nosebleeds, but since the vaccine has struggled with him a lot. These three tragedies are just a few of many tragic incidents related to these dangerous mRNA vaccines. Perhaps if these individuals had been given the opportunity to read about all the potential side effects, they would have had the opportunity to make a fully informed decision whether to get the shot or not. Everyone deserves to have informed consent presented to them when deciding whether they want to receive an mRNA vaccine. Please do the right thing today and make this letter part of the information each patient receives. You all advocate for the protection of the health of our community, then I ask that you be willing to present all the facts to individuals about these vaccines. Thank you for your time.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, so it affects old people and young people, but these are just people speaking about other people that died. There's no living victims, right? Wrong.
Hi, Mayor and City Council members. Sorry. My name is Connie Goddard, and I'm in District 5 at 7810 Sarah Lynn Parkway. My story is the one that's referenced in the petition. Sorry. Before I got the shot, I was 67 years old and very healthy. When I got my first shot, everything was okay. But after the second shot, things got changed drastically. I had the first of many attacks of tachycardia. The attacks were so bad that I couldn't catch my breath. The bouts lasted several minutes, which was very frightening. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Because I didn't know what was going on, the panic in me made the breathing even harder. I finally got in to see a cardiologist, and what he found was even more concerning than the tachycardia. He found that my blood pressure was in the dangerous zone during these tachycardia events. Like I said, I was 67 and healthy. I had to go on heart medication at that point. At the same time, I had massive swelling in my glands at the right side of my face. The swelling was so bad, the doctors could only see the edge of my ear. The pain was unbearable. I went to the doctor and they did blood tests and found nothing, but they did a CT scan and found crystals in my glands. The doctor told me that an autoimmune disease called Sjogren's syndrome was the cause of the crystals. I had 8 of the 9 common symptoms of autoimmune disease: fatigue, weight gain, swollen glands, nervousness and rapid heartbeat, extreme dry eyes and mouth, And for the first time in my life, I had dental health issues. It's been almost 3 years, and I am in better health. The tachycardia and the high blood pressure is under control. Unfortunately, the swelling in my glands comes back quite frequently, and it's spread to the left side of my face and ear. I've been told that after this much time, it probably will never get better. I thank our Lord and Savior that I'm healthy. We all know it could have ended very differently. As a consumer, we have the right to know what we're putting into our bodies. Had I had informed consent, I may have made a different decision about the shot. Thank you.
I have a few things I'd like to say, too. I'd like to say, fuck everybody who's tried to silence Dr. Spees. Fuck everybody on that commission that doesn't allow speech. Fuck all you pieces of shits. Fuck you. Now, here is just a bonus for you, Justin and Mike, because I know you guys are going to get a kick out of this.
Thank you, Ms. Goddard.
Fuck you, Mayor. You're going to love the way our lawyer reacts to this tyrannical piece of shit question this guy asks. And he's sticking up for out of all library staff, right? Out of all the people. Listen to this shit. Or he's trying to stick up for them. The lawyer shuts him down. More accurately, I would call it a First Amendment bitch slap.
The attorney here, Mr. Tagleby, made some disparaging remarks against our board members. Or library board members. I don't think we actually stated that they can't say that. They said they can't make disparaging remarks against council members and the mayor or city staff. But does that also apply?
A person has a First Amendment right to make whatever statements they wish up there as long as they comply with the rules. They have a First Amendment right to make statements that are false. However, there is a right of, if recognized by the mayor, to make a rebuttal statement of fact that is clearly simply a statement of fact in rebuttal to that false statement.
Good answer, right? I mean, anyways, he tries to re-ask the question and he gets the fucking same answer.
No, I was talking about the previous statement.
That wasn't my question. I was asking about disparaging against library board members, disparaging remarks made by Mr. Tagleby.
The person has a First Amendment right to make a disparaging remark. However, if there's a statement of fact that's made in
your face, bitch. This guy is such a douchebag. And just to end it on an even more positive note, here's a name not to forget.
Okay, Rachel Caballero, 522 Hancock. First of all, not everybody gives their address, so we need some consistency on this dais. Second of all, it feels like freedom seems to be the theme today, so I'm going to go in that regard. We are all fighting these increases that you guys are going to pass through today. We know you don't listen to us, so we're just going to come up here and keep telling the community that you guys say that you support locally owned small businesses. All of these fees do not prove that. They do not prove that. These water rates that you guys are proposing today, all these residents going up, industry going down. The sheet that I gave you guys are using Peters and the city manager's water company billing system out of San Antonio. $1 million with the potential for up to $4.6 million for a billing system that is broken. Last year, the billing system charged one of my clients for 376 billable days. There are 365 days in the year. I'm not sure if you guys know that. There are 3 times in March where we were billed for 32 days, in July for 33 days, and in October for 35 days. I don't know about y'all, but I've never heard of a 32, 33, or 35 month day. So the billing system is flawed, and I'll wait for you to bring somebody from the water department. That is unprecedented, that you guys bring a city staffer in here to call out a public, it is inappropriate. It is 100% inappropriate to bring out a city staffer when people are airing their grievances and using their First Amendment rights. That this is unacceptable. This is not showing support of local. You can smile and smirk back there all you want, Mr. Pusley. Throw me kisses. It's inappropriate.
Ms. Caballero,
put him in control. Mayor?
No, ma'am.
Put him in control.
Mr. Risley, go ahead.
So, and here's the other thing. I'm surprised that our restaurants are failing with so much industry here that brings so much economic development.
We're out.
Thank you for your time.
Ms. Caballero. You're out of line, Ms. Caballero.
No, I'm not, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
How?
Mr. Risley?
By addressing a city council member directly.
He is smirking back there.
Addressing the council as a whole, you violated the rules of decorum.
He is smirking back there and making faces like a petulant child. How does one not call that out?
Ms. Caballero.
Now I'm out of time.
You're out of
Give a fucks. She's out of give a fucks. She doesn't give a fuck. Anyways, the end.